My 60th birthday was coming up, and I realised that, I might not have much time left if I carry on like this, with all this amount of weight, this unhealthy diet, this lack of exercise. I need to lose some weight.
This morning, I'm joined by Jeff, who has literally just finished his 12-week back and control blueprint yesterday with myself. And he's kindly going to give us 10-15 minutes to share his journey. And this is a good one because Jeff is one of the eldest clients I've had, and that's one of the biggest limiting beliefs that men have is like, oh, it's my age. That's why I'm overweight. So Jeff's going to bury that excuse because he's lost a lot of fat in 12 weeks. Yeah. That's the introduction. Jeff, if you just want to give a quick brief of who you are, what you do, etc.
Yeah. My name's Jeff. I live down in the south of England, down on the Kent coast, just north of Dover. I'm 66. I work as a counsellor and a therapist, and I've struggled with my weight since I was in my mid-30s, I reckon. So that's 30 years. Combination of bad habits, bad diet, a thing called ARFID, which stands for Avoidant and Restrictive Food Intake Disorder, didn't help. I didn't even know I had that until about 2 years ago, and then I found out about it and read up on all the symptoms and what have you, and I found out that that's what I was suffering from. And it is basically it can vary, but it's what people might think is a picky eater. It's actually it's a phobic response to certain foods. When you see something, it's just that you don't fancy eating it. It's just that you're terrified of it coming anywhere near you.
So someone saying, "Oh, you're picky," that's like pretty much an insult because it's way deeper.
They don't get it.
Yeah,
they don't get it, and I didn't get it for a while. I thought I was just a fussy, picky eater. But
yeah.
So I had this thing called ARFID, which meant that I went for beige food, basically. Wouldn't touch anything green, wouldn't touch fruit, wouldn't touch fish for a long time. It really became an issue for me, I think, about 20 years ago now. About 20 years ago, a load of photographs were taken at the place that I worked. I was working at a rehab in Kent, and somebody took a load of photographs of our open day. I was going through the photographs, identifying all the members of staff. Oh yeah, there's Fred, there's Charlie, there's Bill, and all this sort of stuff. And there was one picture of a woman hugging a bloke with a bald head. And I looked at that and I thought, who's that fat bloke? And I said to one of my colleagues, I said, is that Glenn? She said, no, it's you. I said, that's not me. I'm not that fat. She just gave me a funny look. And I realised, a qualifier here, by the way, I gave up drinking 30 years ago. And my weight started piling on then. Very often a common side effect of stopping drinking, because you're looking for your fix off of something. You're not getting your fix off of booze anymore, so you have to get it elsewhere.
Of course, yeah.
But anyway, so over the years, over the past 20 years or so, I kept telling myself, I must lose weight, I must lose weight, I must lose weight. And I'd half-heartedly go on a little bit of a health drive. Oh, what I'll do is I'll give up sugar in my coffee, which I did. I'll start drinking Diet Coke rather than the full stuff, and all these kinds of things. But lose a little bit of weight, and then it'll come back on again. And what really did it for me in the end was the fact that I'd got to my 60th birthday was coming up, and I realised that I might not have much time left if I carry on like this, with all this amount of weight, this unhealthy diet, this lack of exercise. I need to lose some weight, so I bought a Fitbit. I'm on my third one now. They seem to last for 12 months and a day, so they get to the end of their warranty and then they break for some reason. I don't know why that is, but
probably because the next one's released.
yeah. Good marketing. Yeah. So I bought myself a Fitbit and I dieted and I started exercising, and my weight came right down and down and down and down. And I got really low. I got down to 91 kilos at one point over a period of about 6 months. But then I broke 2 toes. Funny enough, it's ridiculous how I did it. I was walking round and round my kitchen to get my steps up. And I just go walking round and round in this circle. And I looked down at my watch to see how many steps I'd done. And I lost focus on where I was walking. And as I turned, I smashed my foot into the bottom one of the kitchen cabinets.
Oh my!
I broke 2 toes on my foot, so I couldn't walk for ages. And it's what happened was that was it. I just stopped walking, lost interest, my diet went bad again, and the weight piled back on it again. It went up. That's when it went up to 106.9 kilos.
And then we met, was it the start of the year now?
Yeah, I think it was March, wasn't it? Was it February?
Times went so fast. Yeah. So we met at a retreat in Bonnie, Scotland, and we had a very deep connection. We had a lot in common. And you said at the end of that retreat, the one thing that was missing in your life was losing this weight, wasn't it? And getting your health in check.
Yeah.
So I was like, Jeff, I can definitely help you with that. Definitely help you with that. Come on board with the TRV and let's do this. So next, let's talk about what we've done together. What worked well for you? If you could like pick 3 things that really stood out, that's really changed the game for you this time around.
For me, it wasn't about losing weight. It was about losing weight and then stopping the weight coming back on again, because that's really, really demoralizing. The fact that I got down to 91 at one point, you'd think would be really sort of, you'd think that would be an encouragement to say, I did it once and I can do it again. But in actual fact, it kind of worked the opposite way. Because I would look at it and I'd think, look at all that fucking effort you put into losing that weight.
You've climbed that massive mountain, and then it's just like,
and then you piled it all back on again.
Yeah.
The waste of time, and then you start getting those self-defeating shit going on in your head that says, oh, it's just you're just not cracked up for it.
You've done it again, Jeff.
Yeah. You lack the determination. You just, you start knocking yourself. So anyway, I knew what I needed to do, but I didn't know how to stop it coming back on again. And the other thing that I didn't fully appreciate was that there is much more to losing weight and developing your fitness, much more than exercise. Exercise for the fitness and also contributes to the losing weight, but changing your diet to take the weight off. But there's much, much more to it than that, because you won't do either. You won't do the exercise and you will not change the diet unless your head is right. Your head has to be right, and you have to be 100% convinced why you're doing this. I'm doing this because I don't want to die. And that's not enough, because everybody knows they're going to die anyway. I'm going to die anyway, so I'll just die a bit earlier. But then I thought about it and I thought, no, why is it? It's not that I don't want to die, because I'm going to die. It's because I want to enjoy the time that I've got. Now, this isn't, I don't suppose this is something that crosses most of your regular client base's minds, because they're usually a lot younger than I am. You get, you're in your mid-60s. I'm retirement age now. I'm officially a pensioner now. Imagine how I feel. I became a pensioner this year, only to find out they're taking my winter fuel allowance away before I even got it. How about that? No, you sort of 66, and you're thinking, well, genetically speaking, how long did my dad live? Well, my dad lived till he was 77. So that gives me 11 years. But my dad used to exercise a lot. He did a physical job. He could, he had hands like bunches of bananas. He was a strong, powerful man, my dad. And he died at 77. I was a lot more like my mum. And my mum died at 75. And I'm starting to think, well, if I live as long as my mum did, I've only got 9 years left. I'm down to single figures. I'm thinking, I don't want to die that early. I want to carry on a bit. I want to do stuff. And I thought about, what sort of things do you want to do? I said, well, I want to swim and stuff like that. I thought, you haven't swum for 20 years, mate. Apart from the odd splash around in a pool while you're on holiday. I'm not a strong swimmer anyway, but and the reason for that is because I won't take my shirt off in public. I don't want people seeing how flabby I am. I'm ashamed of it. So I thought, well, I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to travel a bit. I want to see a little bit of the world. I want to go to nice places. I want to lounge by pools and exotic places, that sort of stuff. I want to live a bit. You're not going to be able to do that if you're pushing 17 stone. So that, they're starting to think on that level. I want to lose this weight. I want to take this weight off. This is what I want. I want to. And another thing, when I was a youngster, I used to really take pride in my appearance. Um, I was a mod the second time around. So we're talking sort of late 70s, early 80s, and all the gear, all the, the thing with the mods was it was really, you dress really smart.
Yeah.
Not like the greasers and whatever, and the boys whizzing around on their motorbikes and
I can imagine. Yeah.
the leathers and stuff. No, we were all suede and mohair and all that sort of stuff. And I loved dressing up. And for years I've not done that because I've been too fat. You know, a nice Fred Perry doesn't look any good on a fat bloke with a big belly.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get back into dressing in nice stuff. I wanted to wear nice clothes again. I wanted to get out. I wanted to take my shirt off in public. And I just wanted to feel healthy. I just wanted to feel proud of myself. I'm proud of what I've done professionally. And I want to be I'm proud of my kids as well. I'm really, really proud. I've got 4 children and I'm proud of every single one of them. They've done some amazing stuff, all 4 of them, and still doing it. They're really, really bright, switched on kids. Proud of them. So I'm proud of my family. I'm proud of the work that I've done, but I'm not proud of myself physically.
You were the missing piece, weren't you?
Yeah. And I want to put that bit into it. And so, so the first thing with this, and I don't want to give too much away about the program to anybody that might.
Yeah, I don't mind if somebody's tuning in all this time, just let them know what the crack is.
Yeah.
I just want to summarize that though. So I think the first thing, forgive me if I'm wrong, is we've helped you bring to the surface what is your strong reason why behind you doing this.
Yeah, it's the why. That's really important. The why. Why am I doing this?
Because a lot of people, as they get older, they just give up on themselves, right? No, it is what it is. This is life now. Can't change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks. If you can.
Obviously, when you're happily married, you settle down. I've got no one to impress anymore. How about impressing yourself?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So that'll be the first thing.
In a nutshell, yeah.
Rediscovering your why.
Yeah. And so that was the why, and then comes the how. And the first thing about the how was the routine. It's developing a routine.
Describe your morning routine before this, which is probably 90% of men's routine.
Right. Morning routine would be crawl out of bed when I had to. Very rarely would I get up because I wanted to. I'd get out of bed when I had to, which would usually be determined by when I had to work. I'd make a coffee. I'd take on a number of different medications for high blood pressure, which, as the weight comes off, I may not need them, which is good. Take my medication, wander into the lounge, switch on the TV, sit down, start watching the news, get depressed, swear at the news, sit there drinking my coffee, and by this time you sort of you get yourself, you settle in.
Yeah, comfort zone.
And then I'd put my feet up on the sofa, and I'd just sort of settle down, and I'd be there until, got to get ready for work.
Yeah.
Ready for work. And eventually, I'd drag my sorry ass off the sofa, up to the bathroom, wash, teeth, shave, dress, sort my notes out, and get off to work.
And then how does it look now?
The minute I get up, first thing I do is I take my watch off. It goes by the side of the bed, grab my dressing gown, straight into the bathroom, straight under the shower, set it to 0 so it's cold, boof, and on it goes. And I give myself a cold shower.
Shocked. This is the hardest thing of the day.
Yeah, and I've done that every single day for the last 12 weeks without fail. Even when I was quite ill for a period of time.
Yeah, 3 weeks of the program.
3 weeks in the middle of it, I was ill. But even during that, see, I do it because it gives me. I get in there and it's non-negotiable. I just do that first thing in the morning. So there's no time for debate up here. I don't give myself excuses. I don't do deals with myself about it. It's just something you do. So in I go and I do that. Boof. I take my meds with a pint of water. Then I do 25 press-ups and stretching exercises. Upper body stretching exercises. I do 40 of those. Then I do 25 squats, 10 minutes on my exercise bike listening to music. I particularly like jump blues and jump jazz for that.
That's the secret. Put on music you like
Late
and get.
1940s jazzy stuff. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it. So I listen to that for 10 minutes while I'm cycling on the exercise bike. Then off the exercise bike, I've got two, I think they're, what are they, 3 kilogram ones. So they're not the big bastards, but they're two 3 kilogram dumbbells, and I just vroom, and that's my morning routine.
There you go. And then that fires you up for the day versus sitting on your backside watching the news in a foul mood.
Yep.
And then that sets the tone for everything else, doesn't it? So that's why it's so important.
Yep. So, I mean, that's routine, discipline.
Yeah.
So the first part is motivation. Why? That's the motivation. And then discipline. So do it. Why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? Keep your eyes on the prize, if you like. Remember why it is you're doing this. Remember what it is that you want to get out of it. Remember how you used to feel. That's a big one. Remember how you used to feel. Sometimes, I mean, when I'm working with when I'm working with clients who are trying to give up drink or drugs or something like that, very often I say to them, I get them to think about a low point in their life. Think about when you were at your lowest, when you really at your worst, and just get a snapshot in your head that represents that time in your life. Just focus on that. So every time you think about eating or drinking or taking that drug, bring that snapshot up in your head, and that'll remind you why you're not doing it. But the third thing, and this is really, really important, the third thing is the support. It's knowing that somebody's got your back. It's knowing that somebody gets what you're doing, knows your mindset, has the same mindset, and is there for you. Which in this instance was yourself.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be speaking to you. I know that you are genuinely interested in me doing well. And that's great to know, because, it means in a strange way, if you're going to lose weight, if you're going to stop drinking, if you're going to give up drugs, if you're going to, anything like that, whatever it is, you've got to do it for yourself. Everybody knows that. It's got to be done for you. But it always helps if there's somebody else there that is happy to see you doing it, because that gives you, in those sort of like those dark moments when you're thinking, oh fuck it, I can't do this any longer. In those dark moments, there's always that little thought, say, yeah, what would Chris say? Yeah.
That's the make or break point, though, isn't it? From failure to success, when you've got no one in your corner. Obviously, that's why you invest in help in the first place, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. Because I tried doing it on my own. I tried doing it on my own. As I said, I've been relatively successful in losing weight on my own, but I've never been able to keep it off. But this is different. I mean, what's happened as a result of this process is my attitude around food has changed. I don't deprive myself of anything. It's quantity and frequency. I can have a pizza, just not every fucking Friday night, and not a whole freaking great pizza that size. Half a pizza once a month or whatever. And I'm not even that restrictive. I don't say all no restrictive. I just say to myself, no.
You know what? You've got I've got this amount of calories. As long as I can have somewhere near that, then I'll probably be in a deficit.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mention that. I mean, in terms of my routine, I've kept it really, really simple. What I've said to myself is that I just won't exceed 2,000 calories in a day. 2,000 calories is my limit for the day. And in terms of the steps, and I've tried to do this every day, but as we mentioned earlier, over a couple of days when I was really sort of unwell. But I've got I aim for 7,500 steps a day, with a non-negotiable 5,000. So I'm going to do a minimum of 5,000. I aim to get 7,500. And at least once a week, I want to do 10,000 as well. So I'm getting plenty of steps in. And for somebody my age, I think that's quite a reasonable amount. They say everybody should walk 10,000 steps a day, they reckon. And I did the research on where that comes from. And there is no scientific research to back that up whatsoever. None at all. It was just a mandatory figure that the Japanese manufacturer of the first pedometer, the little digital pedometers that used to clip on your belt, it was just a figure that they chose.
Right. I didn't even know that myself.
5 digits. Takes it up to 5 digits, 10,000. Get it up to 5 digits, that'll do. So they reckon, so all this, oh yes, you've got to walk 10,000 steps a day if you want to get healthy. Bollocks. Bollocks.
Yeah.
You know, it's great if you can walk 10,000 steps a day. It's great, but I don't know. You know, a lot of people, you're trying to run a business, particularly if it's a business where you're sitting at a desk doing stuff. Getting 10,000 steps in a day is bloody difficult.
Mm.
You know, unless you're getting up really, really early and staying up late.
In summary, what kind of results? How are you feeling? How are you looking? How much weight did you lose, etc., etc.?
Top line figure, I lost 1.5 stone in the 12 weeks. Chest measurements come down by 3 inches. Waist measurement has come down by 4 inches. Yeah, I feel better. That's the thing. I feel better. I've got more energy.
And there was something you said where, like, in like a social environment or being out and about, you're not shameful anymore. Like you're proud of who you are and stuff. Yeah.
I took my shirt off on the beach a couple of weeks ago. Sort of like, hey, I haven't done it for ages. I haven't done it for crikey. I haven't done it for about 5 years. When I got down to 91 kilos before, which would have been about, possibly about 5 years ago. Yeah, following my 60th birthday when I went really mental and sort of losing weight and stuff. Yeah, that was the last time I took my shirt off in public. And I had my shirt off in public the other day. It's great. I mean, truth of the matter is, I'm a 66-year-old boy with a bald head and grey beard. No one's looking at me anyway. Nobody's looking at me. but that's not the point. It's about me. It's about me, not who's looking at me.
Well, that's prevented you from going on holiday abroad and stuff, and so it's a big difference for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been out socially. It's strange. Been doing things socially as well. I've been out. I've been to parties. I've been out to the gigs and stuff. I've joined. Got my band going again with a lot more enthusiasm for that, and it's good. Everything's looking up.
Yeah, got your mojo back.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right, that leads us on to what would be your advice for, let's say, a guy similar age to you, who's pretty much give up on himself and was where you were at the start. What would your advice be to that fella if he's watching this? So let me just say, you've beaten 2 things in your life. Beaten alcohol, you've beaten smoking. This was the last thing you needed to beat, wasn't it?
Yeah. And gambling. I was a gambler as well. I had a gambling problem, which I quit as well.
Oh, there you go. So
this one has been losing weight has been very, very tough. But so with the others, but this has been the one that's persisted. And this will be the one that would kill me if I don't do anything about it.
There you go.
Yeah. The smoking could have killed me. The drinking could have killed me. But the obesity would kill me if I don't do anything about it. But yeah, my message to anybody that's similar age, it doesn't even have to be similar age to me. Anybody out there who's carrying the excess weight, is feeling unfit, is feeling that sense of shame that I felt. What I'd say to you is you've got to be honest with yourself, and you've got to be honest with yourself, and you've got to say you're frightened, okay? Because that's what it's about. It's about fear. I'm afraid. I want to make these changes. Of course, I want to make these changes, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid of a lot of different things. One thing I'm afraid of, I'm afraid that I'll fail. And if I fail, that'll make me feel worse about myself. I'm afraid that if I let my defences down and I start getting vulnerable, people will take the piss and people will laugh at me and I'll be humiliated. What I'd say to you is just fucking do it. Just do it. You've got to get past that. That fear is trying to protect you, but it's not protecting you at all. Yeah. You've got to overcome that fear. You've just got to grasp it and go for it. Because you can do it. You see, the thing about it seems massive when you look at it and you think the amount of weight that you want to lose and all the changes, it all seems really, really too big. But the fact of the matter is that you designed this program. Chris helps with it. Chris will help you design it, but you design it. Chris will tell you, don't do that. That won't work. You know, if you come up with some strange ideas, he'll tell you. But fundamentally, you design it. You design your own program, and then Chris supports you with it, and the rest of the group will support you with it too. You know, I've had some. You know, I've been putting stuff up on the Facebook group, and you know, a few of the guys who have been through this have been really, really nice and been really, really encouraging. People I've never met before. You know,
That helps massively, doesn't it? Especially for a man as well, because we never get
a
a pat on
complete
the back.
stranger comes in. Yeah, a complete stranger comes in and says, "Go for it, mate. You're doing brilliantly," and it really, really does. It lifts you up. So, what I would say to you, overcome that fear. Be honest with yourself. Most of the time, it's fear that prevents you from doing what you need to do. So just face up to it. The thing about it is, the things that you're afraid of, when you face up to them, they evaporate.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just getting started. It's making that start. So I'd say to anybody that's in a position that I was 12 weeks ago, just do it. Just do it. Don't debate it. Stop all the nonsense up there, the ifs and the buts and all that kind of stuff, because that's just self-defeating.
Waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
It's not the right time.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. You'll talk yourself out of it. If you allow that shit to go on in your head, you'll talk yourself out of it. Yeah. And it's just fear. It's just fear. Overcome the fear, face the fear, admit that you're afraid. It's okay. It's okay for blokes to be frightened. Right? It's another thing that we believe. We take on board, oh no, I mustn't show the fact that I'm afraid because I'm a man and I'll look unmanly, I'll look like a wimp. That's bollocks. Just, you know.
And the old school belief of asking for help is weak. Oh,
yeah,
get that all the time.
Yeah,
so I message you loads, but I've deleted the messages because I don't want to be weak. Yeah. The amount of times I've heard that, I'm like, oh, fuck, you know. Could have been a year ahead if you just asked for help. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
it's crazy. Ask for help. Yeah. Be honest about your fears. Face your fears. Stop the internal dialogue up here and just get on and do it. Bit like me with my showers in the morning. Just fucking do it. Don't debate it. Just do it. There you go. As Nike says, just do it. You've given some really good insight and value there, Jeff. So thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure, Chris. Thank you. Thank you for your help and support, mate. Thank you for putting the program together. It's really, really good. It's a really, really excellent program. Yeah, thank you. It's took a long time to build this. 10 years in the making. But if there's you can see it's very well constructed. Yeah. If there's anyone like Jeff struggling watching this, feel free to reach out and we can have a quick chat and see if I can help. Right, that was Jeff's success interview. Catch you later.